Thanks, Adam. Today, I'm going to be talking about a few topics that are along the same vein as some of our prior discussions on work, on geographic freedom. Today, we're going to be talking about work sovereignty and how we can realize it via new technology, specifically blockchain technology. So a little bit about me. I'm Kirsten, one of the co-founders of TalentLayer, a decentralized reputation system for work. Been in the blockchain space for the past few years, and of course, also a Liberland citizen. And one thing that I care about more than pretty much anything out there is sovereignty. And that's not just sovereignty on the nation state level, but also on the personal level. And today, I'm going to talk about three pieces of sovereignty, three components of sovereignty that we can all realize. The first is financial sovereignty. So this is being able to store your wealth over time, not have it inflate away, and tools like cryptocurrency, gold, things of that nature allow us to experience financial sovereignty, financial freedom. Additionally, we have geographic sovereignty. So this is having the ability to lift yourself up out of your existing jurisdiction and move somewhere else, should you feel the need. And finally, work sovereignty. So work sovereignty is something that allows the prior to, because if you don't have the ability to seek new work, gain an income, then you can't really achieve financial sovereignty, being able to store your wealth, and you can't achieve geographic sovereignty, being able to afford to uproot yourself and move to a place that is treating you better. So that is what I'm going to be focusing on today. How do you achieve work sovereignty? We define work sovereignty as the ability to get new work, and this is really tied very deeply to reputation. If you have a good reputation, a reputation that is understood and that is trusted by others, then you will have a very easy way of finding work in the world. However, reputation is very difficult to scale. Do we know anything about Dunbar's number? So Dunbar's number is the hypothetical, the philosophical maximum number of humans that you can hold in your mind at one point in time. And basically, if you have a reputation, say, in your village or your country, this is something that is very geographically tied, very network tied, and is not necessarily scalable. So what we've done over time through technology, through innovation, is create intermediaries that help us scale reputation. And one of the biggest intermediaries that exist in specifically work are gig marketplaces, freelance marketplaces. Going back to some of the topics that we were talking about earlier today with being able to obtain freedom through freelancing, these gig marketplaces have allowed people to really scale up their reputations. Because what these platforms do are they allow anyone, anywhere in the world, to connect with one another and to transact. People can hire and people can be hired on these platforms. And these platforms are really, really great at two things, really bad at one thing. They're really amazing at verifiable reputation. So basically, when any of us interact on these marketplaces, say I post a job and someone submits a proposal for the job, at the end of our transaction, we both leave mutual reviews for one another. So that's not only building a reputation for the person who is doing the work, but also for the person that is hiring. And the reputation is trusted because you have the marketplace acting as an intermediary saying, yeah, these two people, they actually existed. This is a non-corrupted statement by either of them. And they're also really good for network effect. So you are able to connect with anyone, anywhere globally, and transact on these platforms. The one thing they're really bad about is the way they handle reputation. So even though you can be on these platforms and you can work for 5-10 years and build up this wonderful, wonderful reputation that is absolutely renowned in your industry, it is on that platform forever. You cannot transfer it away. And this is by design. These platforms have the business model of trying to onboard as many people as possible and then basically increasing their rent. So you onboard your users and then you track them and you can charge whatever fees you want. And the way that you track your users is the more they build up the reputation, the harder it is to leave. because if someone is on one of these platforms for 5-10 years, if they want to get started on the next platform, they're starting off as someone with no reputation at all. They're essentially losing their resume. And when your reputation to that extent is in the hands of a platform or any sort of other actor, you lose a lot. And let's look at some examples of how recently people have been losing a lot. So in about 2 months ago, Russia and Belarus had all users on Upwork accounts removed. So these people can no longer transact, and they no longer have that reputation. That reputation cannot be transferred outside of Upwork. So in addition to that, since this is of course a blanket ban, as many companies, governments often do, there were a lot of people hit in the crossfire, should we say, people that are not based in Russia, people that are not even Russian, that have had some sort of keyword or association with Russia in the past, that now, all of a sudden, no longer have access to their work, no longer have access to their reputation. So, the question that I pose is it possible to scale reputation without that intermediary? These intermediaries, of course, exist for a reason. This technology has allowed unbelievable freedom to be realized, but I think that we can go a step further by separating the reputation from the platform, putting the reputation in the hands of the actual user and allowing portability, allowing people to be able to use that reputation on any platform in any context. And the way that we can do that is through trustlessly verifying transactions and mutual reviews. This is something that wasn't possible 10 years ago, but is possible today with blockchain technology. Blockchain technology allows us to use decentralized identity that is in the hands, custodied by the user. It allows us to have provable, verifiable transactions through having cryptographic verification of the reputations and any escrow transactions happening on chain. And it brings, biggest thing, scalable networks as well. You don't even have to sacrifice not being able to have that widespread ability to connect with people. You can have all of this if we're leveraging blockchain technology right. And this is a whole lot bigger than just freelancing marketplaces. This is something that can scale to all work that we do. What if every time we transact with someone, we could have some sort of manner of mutual review and allowing all of that beautiful historic record to be stored in a way that you can take wherever you want, wherever you move, forever. One equitable, interoperable economy of scale for reputation. That is what my team and I are attempting to build with TalentLayer. So we are building sort of a base layer back-end infrastructure for work reputation. This is something that we are providing to both marketplaces of the future that are trying to build crypto-native marketplaces geared to Web3, as well as mainstream marketplaces that want to provide users with the ability to hold that reputation in their own hands and move to the next stage of work. And we're live right now. So we have our pre-alpha currently in the process of being integrated with our first marketplace partner. And if anyone is themselves working in this space, building a marketplace platform, we do have information live on how to integrate and also how to contribute on GitHub, because this is all open source technology. I'm absolutely happy to take questions, also happy to chat about any sort of collaboration that anyone might be interested in, because together we can build the future of work, and that makes me really excited and happy. And it's also wonderful to be in a like-minded room, because I know everyone here just cares about freedom, cares about liberty, and we can help people realize this in a whole new level with technology like this. Thank you.